Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Best in Slot, and tonight I'm going to do one of my absolute favourite things in the world, and that's highlight some awesome community sort of public work that's focused around Jurassic Park. This is by a 3D modeler called Greg Thorburn. I've been keeping an eye on his work for the last 6 months or so. It kind of started earlier this year. Before I tell you exactly about the project, the thing that really excites me about this is over the last decade or so, as I've been working on the channel, God, it's nearly 8 years now, I've seen so many Jurassic Park projects come and go. They all start really exciting and then they die. You guys will remember, like, there was that Jurassic Park Aftermath that looked incredible, that was going to be so good. There was like a really ambitious Trespasser remake on trespassing.petrolia.com, something like that. I think that's dead now. History is littered with the carcasses of dead Jurassic Park projects. So when I see one that's making real progress and looks like it could actually happen, it could actually be finished, because people just, life gets in the way, basically. It doesn't find a way, it gets in the way. I get really excited, and that's what I'm going to look at today. So I'm going to just quote the guy. If you want to see any of this for yourselves, I will link the website down below. I have excluded some stuff personally because I think you should go check out their website and support them. Let them know that this is something you're really excited to hopefully get hold of yourself one day, which I assume is the plan. But I'll let Greg tell you exactly what this is all about. So, in the very first blog post, which again I'll link down below, this post will mark the beginning of my blog on the development of one of my biggest projects to date. And this was in, I believe, May this year, so it's all happened fairly recently. I was fiddling around with an editor for the old and objectively terrible game, Trespasser. Take a little issue with that, but whatever. Inevitably running into a wall with the limitations of a 20-year-old game engine, I decided to make my own version of the Worker Village in the Unity engine. So began my long, so far 5-month journey to create a fully fleshed out recreation of the town from Trespasser, mixed with the Worker Village, and this is the exciting bit, from the Lost World Jurassic Park. The Worker Village is, of course, the end of their time on the island, where Nick and that lot, they call in the helicopter, they're running away from the raptors, blah 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 blah. The project is far from complete, but I wanted to document my journey. I want to share my experiences, discoveries, woes, gripes and growth with whomever was interested, which hopefully is all you guys at home. So what we're going to do today, I'm just going to go through, I've taken some key images from the various blog posts. I'm going to show those off to you, hopefully generate some interest from you guys in this project. There is a really recent video from, I believe, September, so just last month, where he does like a full tour of the project so far. It looks absolutely awesome. I really recommend you go check it out. It takes only about 3 minutes. I haven't included it in this video because I think people should go watch it on his YouTube/website, but I'll link that down below. At the end of this, go check it out. 3 minutes is all it takes. But let's take a look at some of the stuff that he's designed so far. And it's all based on this image right here. You don't really get to see it that well in the actual film, but this is the set that was used for the Worker Village in the Lost World Jurassic Park. He did mention it's based on Trespasser, but the focus does appear to be more on the Lost World as far as I see it. But this is where, Nick runs in and uses the radio and stuff, and that's going to come up a little bit later. So first of all, we have the actual default model. Now this is made in Unity, but this is obviously unlit and all that, and that's just the default base from which everything else is going to be built. And if you go on the blog, you can actually see how he even got to this point via various other versions of the same model, but it's a pretty damn accurate sort of version. Interestingly enough, before today, I actually never knew that this was here, this water here. I don't think... Maybe you do see it in the film, but you only see it very briefly, and because it's shot at night time, I just never saw how this building was formed in the first place, so that was really interesting to me. Moving on, so first of all, we're just going to look at some props. These are the Trespasser boxes, the famous, the infamous, I should say, Trespasser boxes, and there's a couple of it's just some general prop stuff, but then we get into the specifics. So this right here is that transmitter that Nick Van Owen uses towards the end of the Lost World, well, towards the end of the island portion of the film. I went and grabbed the shot from the site, but you can see there Nick got his face perilously close, but that right there is obviously that right there. So already we're seeing actual Lost World Jurassic props kind of coming to life, which is really cool. One thing I desperately want in my life is the ability to tour Jurassic Park or the Lost World, or hell, Jurassic Park 3 for all I care. And yet people refuse to give it to me. Universal refuses to give it to me for reasons I cannot comprehend. And probably never will now that they're so focused on Jurassic World. But people keep doing things like this, and people keep doing things like Jurassic Explorer. At least we get to see these places come to life at least a little bit. Moving on, we also have the PCs. These all come to life. If you watch it in the video, at one point you actually have to go on and turn on the power. We'll see the power station in a little bit. It's very cool. It's silent until then, so don't worry if your sound seems like it's freaking out. But he goes and turns on the power, and all these InGen PCs kind of flicker to life just like in the film, and they flash it with the InGen logo and stuff. It's a very, very cool moment. And there they are all kind of standing together. Bear in mind, these are in development blog posts kind of things. There's going to be a lot more stuff in here, as we will see later on into the video. So it looks a little bare right there, but it will look better shortly. Moving on. This is the gate system, how they get in there in the first place, but it's also, as far as he could figure out, because they don't really show it that well in the film, probably based on the same gate as the one in the initial Jurassic Park. So I went and grabbed the screen grab of, oh wait, well, there it is in the wild. As you can see in the distance there is the visitor shelter. So imagine this is nighttime, they're running in there, Nick's going in there to call for the radio and stuff like that. This tower here, I believe, is based actually on Jurassic Park Trespasser. So he's not just doing the building, he's doing the surrounding area as well. So hopefully, when this becomes available, if that is the plan, I assume it is, you'll be able to do it in nighttime, and you'll be able to feel like you're recreating that final scene in The Lost World, which is an awesome idea. But I went and grabbed this, so that's from the website as well, I should say. So this is the locking mechanism. I went and grabbed this right here on the interwebs. Well, from my copy of the film. So that's kind of what it's based on. This is, of course, from near the very start of the first film, where you get like a decent look at the gate and the locking mechanism, and he's kind of just done his own version of that. At the end of the day, The Lost World came out 20 years ago now, in 1998 approximately. Was 1998, right? I think it was 1998. It came out a long time ago. A lot of it's shot at night. A lot of the set photos are very grainy. There has to be some sort of artistic interpretation of how things were built, but as you read the blog, you can see that Greg has spent a lot of time really trying to recreate the film as accurately as possible, which is just awesome. So we're going to get some good shots here of just what the whole thing kind of looks like now. Ciao, there we go. So there's this whole thing about smashing windows and such. And then there's this little bit about trying to recreate this. Nick is walking past, and here's the table, all the PCs light up, all the InGen logos and all the information, and he's on the radio over here somewhere. And he walks past this thing here, and it's smashed, and we don't really know what it's possibly meant to be. I don't really know what that's meant to be. I'm sure you guys have some alternate ideas to what I think it might be, and, well, I don't think it could be anything, frankly, and what Greg thought it could be, but Greg's theory was that it's a map. Like a static glass map on a kind of like a touristy board. Now, it's a worker village, but maybe sometimes, rather than having all high-tech stuff, sometimes you need sort of old, reliable stuff. Whatever. He went for a map, and he built this very cool. You can see it there, but you can see it a lot better in the original model. This kind of Site B operations map. It's got even has references to the airstrip over there, the aviary operations, Isla Sorna, Site B. I just think that's very, very cool, and you can see it there recreated and then put into the game itself. Although I haven't included that screenshot, go look at it on the website. So, as you can see here, the whole insides are beginning to get fleshed out a little bit. Rooms are being added. Those boxes, you know, where there was nothing there before, there's now this big glass sort of area. There's some raggedy chairs. Those are the crates behind the wall right there. You can see here, again, the same kind of thing. There's a power station thingamajiggy over there, which you do have to, if you watch the video, it's all silent, and he goes up to it and clicks it, and the room buzzes to life, all the lights come on. I badly want to see what that looks like at night time. But you can see here, there's the map thing, a couple of those actually, there's the line of PCs. Things are just being fleshed out a little bit. There's kind of like a array of computers right there, and I think that's meant to be the entrance over there. Ciao, more information. So there's the power station, and more importantly, the InGen mugs. Beautiful, right? Very exciting. And only a few images left. Ciao! There's a nice shot of the outside. Again, just looking a little bit more, you know, the windows are smashed. There's some griefy. I was going for leafy and growth at the same time. Griefy over griefy growth at the sides popping up, you know. The really good thing about it, and he mentioned it on the website actually, is how Jurassic Park has kind of strange architecture in a lot of ways. It's very modernistic in some ways. Is that even the word? I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'm just going to go with weird. Architecture is not my thing, right? And there's these big, hard-angled concrete buildings in the middle of this rampaging, overgrowing jungle that's trying to take back its land. And it's a very interesting dichotomy there, which I think this kind of shows. I don't know why I'm going off on a tangent, but it was mentioned on the website. I thought it was an interesting point. We get a few more images of the inside. You can see here how much more populated it is with all these glass walls, all smashed up. The blinds kind of, you know, these are blinds right here. You can see the strings in between those two red lines here. So the blinds are kind of tumbling down. Everything's just falling apart. It looks really cool. Everything looks really cool. There's the array of computers once more. And that's it from pictures on the website. I have one more because I loved this, but this is from the video. This is all I'm going to show you from the video. I really recommend you go check it out for yourselves. Bajonka-jonk! I misclicked. Bajonka-jonk! There you go. I just love that InGen logo there. So all these computers are off originally, goes in, hits that power station little thingy, and then bloop, 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 they all light up. You can see there's Site B on that PC over there. I just think that's really, really cool. Really, I'm really excited. It's good having a blog to follow that actually updates fairly regularly. You know, the first post was in May. There's been 8 or 9 or so since then. There's a lot of stuff I excluded from this video that you could definitely go check out for yourselves as well. It's worth just going on and supporting them and just saying, you know, this is awesome, I can't wait to play it. That's got to be good motivation for people, right? And it might take a long time to come out, but we have to hope it actually comes out. Like I said right at the start, one of my problems with Jurassic Park projects is they just always die. And it's not because people are getting hit by copyrights or anything like that. As far as I know, that hasn't happened. But things like Jurassic Park Aftermath, which looked so good, they got shut down just because I believe the guys just ran out of time. You know, a big project like this takes a lot of time and a lot of work. So a little bit of support could go a long way. Just, you know, just people letting them know that this is something exciting to them as well and that they're looking forward to play it. I would care about that, and hopefully you guys do too. So do go check out the website, do go check out the video. What I'll do is I'll link the video post on their website, so that way you can go on their actual website and bookmark it to keep up to date like I have done, and you also get to watch a video right there as well. Big shout out to Greg Thorburn, am I pronouncing that right? I hope so, for awesome work so far. I cannot wait to get my hands on this project. And yeah, thanks for joining me, folks. I'll see you lovely folks next time. Cheers, much love as always. Bye-bye. Quick little shout out at the end. This video and others like it would not be possible at all without the support of you guys watching me at home, and also everyone on this Patreon page right here who supported me in the last month. If you want to help out as well, you can do so at patreon.com/bestinslot. Every little really helps. Cheers.